Come this way.
Perhaps so.
Yes?
What?
Come this way.
Stay close. Just step.
Yes.
Perhaps so.
And well met. Greetings and well met.
Yes?
What?
Yes.
Yes?
Light.
What?
Yes?
Perhaps so.
Yes.
Light.
What?
Eleme Vokreni.
Yes.
Perhaps so.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Stay close and step where I step.
Yes, how may I help? I am. I find your sense of purpose in this journey grants me strength, and it lightens my spirit. Whatever drives you has driven me as well. I feel there is much I can learn from you, and I think the planes our paths crossed. I only speak the truth, but you spoke to me for a reason. Is there some way I may help? Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. I come from the slopes of Celestia. My heritage is evidenced in my wings and my eyes. They are a mark of my heritage, yes. There is much I can see, and much I cannot. And my eyes see that your journey to the Shadow Plane was not your first trip through Shadow. My eyes can perceive the spectrum of planes at times, even if the array of colors is lost on them. Your journey marked you, and I sense an absence within you as if your heart was removed. Its pain has faded to be replaced with something new, an affliction seeping into the open wound. Whatever affliction I sense within you that has filled the wound, it feels larger than the wound itself, as if the wound is merely a door. I do not know if Ilmater's blessings will aid you, but the fact you bear such pain is a testament to your strength of will. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. I come from the slopes of Celestia. My heritage is evidenced in my wings. And my eyes. No, I cannot. The wings simply serve as a cloak, and at times a shield from the sun or elements. They are another mark of Celestia, one that I welcome. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. Yes. Part of the tenets of Kelemvor is to comfort the dying, for them to make peace with death. It was once a task that comforted me as well. It is difficult to express, but I will try. Once I was one of the priesthood of Kelemvor, god of the dead. I walked the plains, alleviating the suffering of others. But to face those same spirits, to soothe them and comfort them, only to know that they are bound for a place that torments them, it is not something I understand. In Kelemvor's faith, they teach that death is not something to be feared, that it is part of the natural cycle, but that is not true. If one does not worship the gods, there is much to fear, and no prospects of peace in the afterlife. To comfort a dying child, knowing it is destined to scream eternally in an ever-living wall. A midwife of the plains who has never heard of such a thing as gods, an entire plain of sea wives who farm the sea and seed the oceans to bring about life. To know that they are bound to become stones in the wall of a faithless citadel, crushed together by dogma and ritual that has never once been reflected upon, that never once has been examined for what it is. Yes, the great wall that encircles the city of judgment. Its bricks are souls that never pledged fealty to any god, nor knew that they had to achieve paradise in the afterlife. They are mortared there, crushed together to suffer by archaic law. No matter how good or pure or unselfish they were, it matters only if they followed the proper rituals to a deity, any deity. Religion is not ritual. It is intended to comfort, to strengthen, not to punish. Is lip service to a god, is that what is important? Or is it the acts and belief that matter? My conscience cannot be silenced on this. I hear justice. I hear the last words of those who suffer and need comfort. All of these things I hear, always. But beyond them, in the fugue plain, I hear the cries of those dead who lie within the wall, and I cannot forsake them. I would welcome your help, and it lends me strength to know that you are my ally in this. I will fly to them, and I will grant them wings as I have. I shall release them from the curse that their death has become, because it is the right thing to do for one's spirit to be at peace. I believe that only the god of the dead can unmake such a construction. To do so, I must appeal to Kelemvor himself. I led the Second Crusade to tear down this wall. Like the first, it failed, but I still live. It will continue. There was a First Crusade. It too was stalled for a time. The one who led it suffered as I had. That is part of the journey, I feel. My grandfather sought to dissuade me from my efforts with the tale of the First Crusade. I do not think he understood the tale he was telling. Before then, I did not even know that there had been previous attempts to bring down the wall. To realize that others had felt as I did gave me a new strength, new conviction. One mortal sought to cast down the wall and failed, even with an army at his back. His name was Akachi, sometimes known as the Betrayer. Only one question remained in my mind, so I spoke it. Why must the universe be so? Grandfather answered, resolved with, what is there to be done? To him it was a statement. To me, it was a question. It is that question that is the torch that leads my way in shadow. I know what must be done. In all things, Grandfather saw process and order and ritual, and that is what he tried to teach me when he told me of the First Crusade. But those are abstracts that orbit a purpose. If the purpose is flawed, what meaning do process and ritual have? He is a Solar, and I one of his descendants. His blood runs through my veins, but my perspective and my spirit are my own, not tied to the higher planes. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. Yes. Part of the tenets of Kelemvor is once I was one, but to face those same spirits. In Kelemvor, if one does not worship the gods, there is much to fear. And gladly, if I have the answer. I sought to lead a crusade against the city of the dead, to correct the injustice I saw there. If the universe would not remove the wall of the faithless, then I would. I was not the first to feel this way. Have I told you of the First Crusade? The war of Akachi against the wall of the faithless? He was a faithful adherent of Merkel, Lord of the Dead those many centuries ago, before the rise of Kelemvor. Yes, one of Merkel's chosen ones, in fact. He dispensed justice in Merkel's name and hunted the enemies of his god across the plains. But when one he loved fell victim to Merkel's laws, he appealed to his god and was rebuked. I think not. Merkel took amusement in certain deaths and punishments, and until his end he was never swayed from his judgments. The one who loved Akachi, she did not worship the gods, any god, let alone the god of her beloved, Merkel. There is a punishment for ones who carry such beliefs. No matter how virtuous their lives, those who do not believe in the gods will suffer upon the wall of the faithless until their souls are no more. Yes, yes it is. Once they are on the wall, they die again. And it is not a quick death. It is a slow slide. It is agony until their souls are dissolved into the wall. They decay until they are destroyed completely, utterly. Akachi's sense of justice would not permit him to accept even the words of his own god if he felt they were unjust, nor would he accept the wall that encircled Merkel's city. So he gathered allies, great lieutenants of dragonkind, divas, and even the undead to his side. He attacked Merkel and was crushed. What? Those three are not dreams. They exist, or did at one time. I sought to find them and enlist them for my crusade, but I could not find them. Your dream is the closest I have ever come to encountering them. If they exist, they are hidden well. I wonder what this foretells. Perhaps they shall come again, but this time in the flesh. But the tale lives on. It lives on in me, in others, who saw what Akachi tried to do. And in his tale we take strength, and we continue his war. For the wall of the faithless is not just. It must be cast down. I am pleased to hear you say that. Sometimes I fear that I am alone in my beliefs, and I question them. Merkel's construct has passed to Kelemvor, the new god of the dead. He is set in his ways, and is as deaf to appeals as Merkel was. There must be justice in this life, and in death. I am bound to both, but I am not bound to accept their laws. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. Yes, why do you ask? Those three are not dreams. They exist, or did at one time. I sought to find them and enlist them for my crusade, but I could not find them. Your dream is the closest I have ever come to encountering them. If they exist, they are hidden well. I wonder what this foretells. Perhaps they shall come again, but this time in the flesh. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. What of them? I have 4 siblings, and we were seldom apart. We called ourselves the Menagerie, and we took on the mantles of animals that reflected our spirits the best. Yes, recent events have separated us, and our paths have divided. Ephraim the stag and Susa the crow traveled with me, and Josu and Becca, twins, paladins, with courage and manes from which the lions were born. I was the spiritual leader of the menagerie. I took the dove as a symbol of peace. It was never my intention to attack the City of Judgment. My intention was to bring down the Wall of the Faithless. To bring down the wall by violence was not my intent. I had hoped, if Kelemvor saw the strength and conviction of the crusade assembled, it would cause him to reconsider. It was too important a cause not to be willing to fight for it. It still is. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. The House of the Triad is not a temple, nor is it a place upon the prime material plane. It is the name bestowed to the 3 great mountains circling Mount Celestia on the outer plains. The realms of Torm, Tyr, and Ilmater lie upon the crest of each mountain, and the triumvirate forms the House of the Triad. It is a place of great beauty, where the orchestrations of divas are carried on the wind and sun. But it is sealed to me, and never again shall I know its comfort. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. It is a shadow of the city you have left behind, but as you may have perceived when you arrived, it is not an exact imitation. There are distortions of architecture, and sometimes a different flow of streets or paths. It is enough to recognize what shadow Mulsantir is supposed to represent, but not what it is. I hope that served to dispel your confusion rather than compound it. To describe shadow is an elusive thing. Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours. The more I travel with you, the more I learn from you, the more I am certain of my convictions. There was a time in the past where I felt I had the power to lead others in a righteous cause. Now I see what a true leader is capable of. I and my brothers and sisters bow to you. You have earned our loyalty, our devotion, and the bond that comes with it. Bond implies capture, I suppose, but that is not its strength. This bond will free you from other chains, and hopefully help you end your curse. Our philosophies and our desire to save others link us already. In traveling with you and seeing proof of your heart, I can channel my strength through that link to empower you. You may find greater calm in seeking wisdom and learning from the events around you, but it is not solely a meditative bond. When others seek to prevent you from acting, they will find they cannot. We pledge our devotion to you, and the link is now forged. Your quest is ours, and our power and strength shall be as yours. Even should I die, or we are split in battle, the menagerie shall remain devoted to you. So shall this bond be forever marked upon you. Together, let us act to end this curse of yours, and bring justice and mercy to the plains. Yes, how may I help?
Yes?
What?
Yes?
Perhaps so. Perhaps so.
Yes, little one.
If there's something I can do for you, just ask. Come this way.
Yes?
Perhaps so.
Yes.
Perhaps so.
Yes?
Light.
To me, my allies, I shall lead.
Et altor mudias.
Light.
Glory conforus. Adion novo. Absolute movie. Glory conforus. Tosus formus.
I shall do so.
Yes?
Vatatus dentire.
So,
Danger approaches. Be on your guard.
Vatatus dentire.
Yes?
Yes?
I shall do so.
Creone vetus.
what?
X. Avion Novo.
Yes.
Avion Novo.
For the crusade.
X.
Yes.
Perhaps so.
Yes.
Perhaps so.
X.
There. The door is finally open, Araman. We have waited and done all you asked.
Araman, I owe you the wages of your treachery.
I told you the girl doesn't deserve this. We do it quickly and mercifully or I'll have no part.
Silence.
Wait.
A dream or a memory? Is there anything left of you inside that hollow shell? Do you know my face? The face of a brother who once ran laughing in your wake? My smiles have faded, and your face has changed many times. But something of you must still remain. Not the memories of this mask you now wear, but they are yours, yes.
What lunacy? Araman, what is this? With respect, I see no reason to play yet more games with...
Turn away. Cast your eyes back to Rashomon, to home. Leave this place now, and none will hinder you. Beyond that door you may find truth, but also folly. A folly that will sunder the plains and render meaningless all that you have suffered. Then I cannot protect you any further. My fight lies elsewhere, and not with you.
He is mad. Madder than Nephros ever was. Come, let's make an end to this before he changes his mind.
Master Jaffe, please. You and I, we live with Thayan ambition and treachery all around us. It taints our actions. But I know that our friendship was never a lie.
Perhaps, my dear, but
I know you. You stood by, watched as they murdered my mother. I know you must think that condemns you to their side, but it doesn't. They would have killed you for opposing them. You are the same man who comforted a frightened girl, terrified of the voices in her mind, and taught her to craft little chattering creatures of twigs and clay, real voices to drown out the false.
you shame me, my dear. Surviving has become a habit. If I am to break it, you are the best of reasons.
Fine. We'll appoint another in your place, Jaffe. A wizard with more sense and fewer wrinkles.
Yes?
Come this way.
Yes.
Pactum noti pate.
What?
Vaxaf zone genen.
Yes?
Perhaps so.
What is this? Are you a dream, a fantasy, a recollection spawned of my own dead mind? Yes, you are that, but you are more too. I know you, Spirit Eater. You are an irony that walks, two fates bound together, both severed and incomplete. And you have brought others, cast-offs, discarded souls such as this priestess. She is of the higher planes, tinged with Kalimvor's blind philosophy, salted with the wretched tears of Ilmater's pity. Are you here because Ilmater has now done as Kalimvor did?
Ilmater forsakes no one, Merkel. Even ones who commit such atrocities as building the Wall of the Faithless and making vessels to feed its strength.
Ilmater may take pity on you, little bird, but Kalimvor severed you like a gangrenous hand. He smelled the death of faith upon you. With all his pragmatism, he can be crueler than I, but he will not rule the dead better for it, I think.
He rules the dead now, Merkel. One could even say he rules dead gods as they drift in this empty place.
Perhaps. It is an amusing notion, but your life embodies an irony of Kalimvor as well.
He does not know what he speaks of.
Do I not? You sought to console the dying, soothe their pain and doubt. Then the true pain came when you discovered where you were guiding them. Doom guides. An apt name. What matters in healing their pain if the true agony is to come? That is what awaits them on my wall.
It is only a structure. It will not survive time and faith. It will not survive me. We are both of one mind about this, Merkel. The wall will be destroyed.
You would have an easier time dismantling Mount Celestia, stone by stone.